Hello everyone, I'm Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. I'm so excited about today's video. One of my favorite things to do when I just have a few ounces of yarn, but it's way too pretty to put in that yarn scrap bin for scrap projects. And that's how it is with this yarn. This is the Red Heart Ombre in Violet, and it worked out perfect for my open chevron scarf. So I called it the Open Chevron Ombre Scarf. But of course you don't have to use an ombre yarn. I just love the way it moves along on this pattern. And it's a skinny scarf because it only measures about 6 inches across. But of course you can make it as long as you want to. I'm a little bit short, so I don't make mine real long. But if you're taller or you just prefer a longer scarf, just keep going till it's the length that you want. It's a really simple 2-row repeat for this scarf. Now, you can find all that information on sizing and adjusting length and width on the blog. And as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. I designed my chevron skinny scarf using Super Saver Ombre, and the color is called Violet. And I absolutely love the way ombres work on this scarf. Now, you can use any medium weight or worsted weight number 4 yarn for this project. You're only going to need about 3 ounces or more if you want it to be a lot longer. The length, of course, is up to you. But I think it's a great project when you only have about 3 ounces of a beautiful yarn that you, like I said, don't want to put in a scrap project. All right, so 3 ounces of any medium weight number 4 yarn. You could use striping yarns, variegated, or even just a solid. I think it would be lovely in an off-white to go with just about anything for spring and summer. We're going to be stitching today with our eye hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. You need your needle and you need your scissors. You need your needle and you need your scissors. So we're going to begin with our slip knot, and we're going to chain 23 chains. Now you need to chain this initial chain just a little bit loose because you don't want the bottom of your scarf to be puckered up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've chained my 23 chains. We're going to begin by placing a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. So we have a chain 3 that counts as 1 double crochet, and then we stitched another one. Now we're going to stitch 1 double crochet in the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I count my chain 3 as my first one. So there's 1, and then I did another one, then I did 8 more. So we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double crochets. In our next chain stitch, we're going to stitch 3 double crochets in that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, and that's going to form the bump of our chevron, and that leaves 10 chains remaining, and so we'll stitch 1 double crochet in each of those remaining 10 chains. See. And then we'll chain 1. So for row 1, we have 10 double crochets, then we have 3 double crochets in one stitch in the center, and then 10 more double crochets. So we have 23 in total. Chain 1 and turn. Now, what we're going to do before we do our open weave row is we're going to stitch the first 2 double crochets together, which is called a double crochet decrease, or stitching 2 double crochets together. So we're going to yarn over, go in the first double crochet and pull up a loop. Then we'll go in the next double crochet and pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through the first 3. Yarn over and go through the next 2. And what we've done is we've decreased or stitched the first 2 together, so we have 1 double crochet. So now we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the next double crochet and double crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip the next, and double crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet in the next. Now we're going to chain 1. We'll skip the next one, and that will bring us to the center of those 3 double crochets. And in that center double crochet, we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's look at it real quick before we do the other side. We decreased by 1, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, then we repeated that 3 more times, and then in that center double crochet we stitched 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 1, we'll skip the next one and double crochet in the next, and repeat this down the side there we go, the second side of our chevron. Double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1. All right, so you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets on this side, and 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets on this side, not counting this one where we decreased. And this brings us to the end of this row, and we have 3 double crochets. We chained 1, we're going to skip the next one and do a double crochet decrease, or stitching 2 double crochets together with these last 2 stitches, just like we did at the beginning. And by doing a double crochet decrease at the beginning and end of every row, that's how we get that nice even row up the side of our scarf. So we did the double crochet decrease, or stitching 2 double crochets together, chain 1. Double crochet decrease at the end of both. We have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets with those chain 1s in between, and then 3 double crochets in that center double crochet. All right, let's do row 3. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to stitch the first 2 stitches together. We have our decrease stitch and then a chain 1. And the way we do that is yarn over, go in the top of that stitch, and pull up a loop. Now we're going to go in the chain 1 space and pull up a loop. You'll have those 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through all 3 of those loops, yarn over, and go through those 2 loops. Now we're going to stitch a double crochet in the double crochet. We'll stitch a double crochet in the chain 1 space. Double crochet in the double crochet, and double crochet in the chain 1 space. And this is giving us our solid row of double crochets. And so we just repeat double crochet in the double crochet in the chain 1 space until we reach those 3 double crochets in the center. So now this brings us to those 3 double crochets in the center. We're going to double crochet in the first double crochet. We're going to place 3 double crochets in the next one, which is the center double crochet. Then we'll double crochet in that third double crochet. Now we'll work our way back down. Double crochet in the chain 1 space, double crochet in the double crochet, and repeat until we reach those last 2 double crochets, or last 2 stitches, because one of them is going to be a chain 1 space. So here's my last 2 stitches, my chain 1 space, and the decrease from the previous row. Yarn over, go in the chain 1 space, and pull up a loop. Then we'll go in our last stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through all 3, yarn over, go through the 2, and chain 1. And this is how your row 3 should look. We chained 1, and now we're going to turn. And for row 4, we're just going to do the same thing we did on row 2. We're going to stitch the first 2 together, we're going to chain 1, skip the next, and double crochet in the next, and repeat this till we hit those 3 double crochets in the center. So we have 4 sets of single crochet, chain 1, then we're going to chain 1. This brings us to the center and stitch 3 double crochets in that center or middle double crochet of those 3. And then we'll work our way down the other side. Chain 1, skip 1, and repeat. So our chain 1, here's our last 3 stitches. So we'll skip the next and double crochet together the last 2 stitches and chain 1. So we have our decrease at the beginning and end. We have 4 sets of the chain 1 double crochets and chain 1 and the 3 in the middle. Chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to do row 5, and it's going to be exactly like row 3. We're going to do 2 double crochets together, or decrease, then we'll double crochet in that first double crochet, and then we'll double crochet in each of the chain 1 spaces and double crochets till we reach the center where we have our 3 double crochets that are stitched in the same stitch. So now we'll stitch a double crochet in that first double crochet. We'll stitch 3 double crochets in the center. And then double crochet in that third double crochet of those 3. And so now we're going to stitch a double crochet in each of the chain 1 spaces and a double crochet in each double crochet till we reach those last 2 stitches. And our last 2 stitches are a chain 1 space and our decrease from the previous row. So we'll go in the chain 1 space and pull up a loop. We'll go in there at that stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through 3, yarn over, go through the 2 and chain 1. And so you can see that row 5 is exactly like row 3. And I think you're starting to see the pattern. So I think by now you're starting to see how the pattern works. We do a row of solid, a row of open, and a row of solid. All right, let's do row 6. Chain 1 and turn. So we're going to do double crochet decrease at the beginning of the row. We're going to chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet and repeat that till we reach the center where those 3 double crochets are. Here's those 3 double crochets. We'll skip the first one and stitch 3 double crochets in that center double crochet. Chain 1. Now we'll skip the next one and repeat chain 1, skip 1, double crochet till we reach those last 2 stitches. Chain 1, skip this one and stitch the last 2 together with a double crochet decrease and chain 1. Chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to do double crochet decrease, yarn over, go in the first stitch, then go in the chain 1 space, yarn over, go through the first 3, yarn over and go through those last 2. Now we're going to double crochet in the double crochet in the chain 1 space, and repeat till we reach those 3 double crochets in the center. I've reached those 3 double crochets in the center. We'll stitch a double crochet in the first one, 3 double crochets in the second or center one, and then 1 double crochet in that last of those 3. Then we'll continue and repeat what we did over here. Double crochet in the chain 1 space and double crochet in each of the double crochets until we reach those last 2 stitches. We're at our last 2 stitches. We go in the chain one space, pull up a loop, and then in our double crochet decrease, pull up a loop, go through the first 3, yarn over, and go through the last 2 and chain 1. So there's our first 7 rows. And what you're going to do to complete your scarf is to continue to repeat row 2 and row 3, which is what we have done here, 1 row of the open and 1 row of the solid double crochets for our chevron, and you'll continue to repeat row 2 and row 3 for 49 more rows, or more if you want a longer scarf. So continue to repeat row 2 and row 3, alternating every other row for 49 more rows. So here is my scarf. I continued my rows, alternating row 2 and row 3 for 49 more rows, which gets me up to row 56. If you want your scarf longer, make it as long as you would like. Just remember, you need to end on a solid row of double crochet. And looky here, I was playing yarn chicken and I won. All right, so when it's as long as you want and you've ended on a solid row of double crochet, cut your yarn and tie off. Now, I do not put a trim on mine. If you want to go down the sides and add a trim, you certainly can. I just don't feel that it needs it. Mine lays nice and flat and pretty. And I don't want to add any extra width to it either. So I'm just going to weave this in. And I've already weaved the one in at the beginning. And so one end's going to have the open end and the other end's going to have the point. Isn't that fun? Now, if you want to make this into a cowl, because you know I love cowls, although I'm not going to make mine into a cowl this time, all you have to do is take your ends, put them together, and stitch them together with single crochet or slip stitches, and then you can have a cowl. You can put a twist in it if you want, or you can leave it flat. But I'm just going to leave this one as a scarf because I just really love how the colors work, and I think it's going to look perfect with one of my outfits where I have a purple flower in my blouse. And so that is the open Chevron Ombre scarf, the perfect scarf for spring, summer, winter, and even fall, depending on where you live.